What's good, everybody? It's your boy JTL Opposite from the norm, back with another one. Before I get started, make sure you like, share, comment, and definitely make sure you subscribe. Hit them like buttons too. Alright, my boy DL Hughley finna double down on Ice Cube. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Mariah Carey fantasy is a fantasy to believe that you can get this administration to do anything. You've seen black person after black person after black person after black person ruin themselves on the altar of Trump with nothing in return, and Ice Cube is the latest one. The Platinum Plan, when I heard it, it was insulting from the gate. Why didn't they have the spinning rims plan? We have a third wave of COVID coming right now, and he's meeting with the dude that gave us 3 Fridays. You can always tell the seriousness and import of the meeting based on who was in there. Based on what the topic at hand is. Yes, people are right when they say we have a lot of problems, we need a seat at the table. But we need the right people at the table. We need people from education, from finance, from medicine, from medical, from prison reforms, sociology. People who have done this for a living and not made a couple of banging albums. Let me ask you something. Why is it that you will meet with Ice Cube, but you will not meet with the Congress to get a stimulus plan passed? Why is it you won't meet with Joe Biden in another debate, but you'll meet with Ice Cube? Why is it that you will not meet with the people who are trying to stem the coronavirus, but you'll meet with Ice Cube? And I'll tell you what it is. Out of all these meetings he's had with these black people, why are they always actors, comedians, rappers, and athletes? When you watch the RNC, do you see one ex-president, one governor, one foreign affairs expert? Have you seen them endorse him? You know why? Because they know he's a fool. And do you know why Trump picks the black people he picks? Because they are all entertainers, and that's what he thinks this is. All I have to do is show niggas a shiny thing, and they'll be distracted. The Platinum Plan. You could tell right away that he was working with somebody on that. $500 billion, where do you get that from? And for Ice Cube to say, well, I talked to the Democrats, but they said they couldn't do anything after the election. Let me tell you why. Because they don't hold the power right now. They don't hold the presidency and the Senate, and to get anything past that $500 billion that you supposedly got, who gives it to you? It's appropriated by the Congress, but the Senate has to pass it. Can you see that happening? They won't give money for airports. Airlines are closing. But I'll talk to Q. Schools are shutting down. People are close to being homeless. But I'll talk to Q. It is all for folly. He is one of my favorite rappers. And if we were talking about making a great album or some of the other projects he's done, that's all in. But to sit down with that man who only uses black people for caricatures, only for backdrops, only for photo ops, it is insulting. Yes, we need to be in the room, but it needs to be the right people in the room. People who have expertise on any number of problems that plague us. Any number of problems. And while you were meeting with, while Ice Cube was meeting with, did he talk to him about how he's trying to suppress the vote? Did he talk to him about the fake ballot boxes they have all over the country? Did he talk to him about the poll watchers they're going to have that could potentially have violent outcomes with black people? Did he talk to them about how long our lines we have to wait in to vote? Did he do that? Did he talk to them about the way black women in childbirth died disproportionately? Did you have those conversations? You know why you didn't? Because that wasn't what it was for. The Platinum Plan, that's what we'll do. Right now, today, there's an article in Newsweek that says the Proud Boys, right now, they're planning a civil war if Trump loses. It must be something for Trump to have the Proud Boys and Boys in the Hood on the same line. When you got the Proud Boys and Boys in the Hood, yep, that was a good day. That's a little note from the GED section. We got a jazz report coming.
Yeah, so y'all see right here, DL doubled down. He ain't back off of it as a grown man. I always had a lot of respect for DL, you know what I mean? Especially when he got more to, like, he always voiced his opinion on the stand-ups. But for years, you know, he had a show, I believe he was on CNN, and he's been on Fox News. He's been doing a lot of talking and voicing for the people for years, over a decade now. The thing is that he forgot to mention that Biden does the same thing too. You got to realize Democrats do the same thing. Hillary did the same thing. You know, hot sauce in my bag. And then Biden was talking to Charlemagne. Biden was talking to freaking Cardi B. Like, Democrats do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But I get what he's saying. I think that's the point that we kind of missing. No offense, but what we got to realize, we got to stop being ignorant and start learning, God willing, because he got a point. Why are you talking to Ice Cube? The people that he helped write these things, that helped him, help Cube write these plans and stuff for black people to contract with Black America, them the people that he should have been talking to. Why wasn't he talking to Dr. Claude Anderson? Why wasn't he talking to, you know what I'm saying, like people like that, or people that's actually in the community doing something? Everything's just a photo op. You know what I'm saying? That everything is underhanded and undermined. You know what I mean? So, like, me and my partner always talk about it, and then he brought up something that me and my partner was talking about. You know, the Proud Boys. They say they not a factor. That's what Joe Rogan keeps saying. But you mean to tell me they're talking about if um if 45 don't win again, they gonna do a race riot? Like, come on, man. Like, this is the things that people have to understand. You know what I mean? I talked to my partner about these things. That's why I'm talking. I did the show. If y'all haven't seen it, go back and watch it. Group economics and political committees. That's what black people need to start building on. Even if we had to meet with 45 because he's the president at the moment, it should have been the right person, not Cube. Cube don't know. Like, I watched him talking to Roland Martin, and he only brought up two things that they implemented from the platinum plan to the platinum plan from the contract with Black America that Q was talking about, that he's pushing now. But that's all they did was try to implement two things. You know what I'm saying? When he was on Roland Martin interview, when Roland Martin asked him that question, and people upset. But I mean, at least Q trying. If that's what he's trying to do, whatever, it's all good and fine. But you see D.L. Hughley, even though he talks about these things all the time, he's telling you, I from what I hear, he wouldn't even do it. Like, let it be the right people that actually do these things for a living for black people. Let them be the ones, the brothers and sisters that have been doing this for years, actually go talk. You know what I'm saying? But they won't do that. They won't meet with them. Either side, they won't meet with them. So that's why we got to focus more so on group economics and political committees. That way we can push and endorse people that we want to push. But also, we're making sure we're doing the legwork. And this is what people got to understand. I don't care what president gets in the House. They're not going to simply just think about black Americans, because we don't have the strategy, we don't have the togetherness and all the things that we need for that to happen right now. And we keep talking about withholding our votes, blase squaze. That's not gonna work if we're not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all want to withhold y'all votes, at least, I pray, at least everybody who's saying that is like, let's do this, let's move on that. Because I just been watching all these celebrities, and it's mind-boggling and mind-blowing that all they do is just talking about the industry stuff, like Goody Mob. I used to be a fan of Goody Mob. But all they're talking about is what happens in the industry. Like Big Gip be talking to Beehive, talking about, oh, they won't let me have money like that. You got money, though. You got some kind of money. You know what I'm saying? You're in a place that's pretty decent when it comes to, you know, what's going on with black people. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta is pretty decent on that part of having black-owned businesses and black politicians and all that. They're doing pretty decent. But last time I went there 3 years ago, it was a lot of abandoned houses. And I'm like, why they not buying up these houses? If white people moving and gentrify, then you're going to be mad. But look how many years y'all let go by while these houses just sitting there. Y'all not buying these houses up so y'all can move black families in there. You know what I'm saying? Move young brothers and sisters in there that's trying to build something and they need a roof over their head. Atlanta is cheap. If you can get a mansion with like 5+ bedrooms and multiple bathrooms and rooms and all that, and square footage and you know what I'm saying, acres for like $500,000, you should be able to go get a house that's like 2-3 bedrooms and put somebody in there for $800-900 a month. Clean up your own neighborhood. Andre 3000, I always respected him lyrically, especially when it comes to talking about black people issues. Him and Big Boy from Outkast. But what Andre doing now? Walking around with a doggone flute? He walking around playing a flute. Come on, bro. Did he lose it or what? Why are you not standing up for black people? Why are you walking around playing a flute? Did you just give up? Like, this is what is insulting to me, is that we back all these people, and then now it's time to be doing something, and a lot of these people ain't doing nothing. Like, I know T.I. get the snitch rap put on him for whatever reason, you know, y'all feel about the guns and what time, how much time he served barely, and also, you know, him taking a stand by, you know, his friend got arrested, so, you know, taking a stand to get the people out that did the murder. But he is doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? I got to give him that credit. He is doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to do something. But the problem is, it doesn't need to just be about our entertainers. I know, and me and my partner talk about it all the time, the reason why it's so important, you know, that black people support our entertainers is because when you look in the past, all the way back to 20s and 30s, you got, you know what I'm saying, Joe Louis and all these other people, Muhammad Ali got arrested. So, like, you know, they were speaking up for us. They was taking a stance. They stayed within the community a lot of times. But those were different eras that when we had segregation. So they had no choice. But now that they got a choice, what they do? They move out of the hood. They don't try to build it up for them, their family and friends and neighbors and people that look like them. They move. Like Pac said, so why every time we get money, we move away instead of trying to build and make people feel good about where we were or where we stay? They get money and they haul tail. That's the problem. That needs to change. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to stop doing that to each other. But until we figure it out, this is what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I try to tell my YouTube buddies, and you know what I'm saying, and make sure what me and my partner talk about. We got to make moves in the community, because no offense, but I just want to say this, because we got to critique and think about it. If all we do is talk, right, the same people we expose or whatever you want to call it and we talk about, we can turn into them. Like, we honestly got to think about it. We can end up, God forbid, turning into one of them where a lot of stuff we do is questionable because all we doing is spending all this time exposing people. Like, look at Choke No Joke. He's spending all this time trying to expose people in the industry. All right, that's what you do. But how much talk do you deserve to have on black people, what they need to do, and talking about Diddy and not trusting Diddy, if you ain't doing nothing? You're doing nothing. And I don't even care for Diddy because he got so much dirt on him, but so does Ice Cube when it comes to what he did to a lot of people that came up under him. But that's all you doing is exposing him. You get rid of Diddy. Diddy trying to put money up, do a political party and stuff like that. I commend the thought. And maybe God willing, Lord, to bless him to, you know, actually be able to do something with it and help people. He even opened up a black charter school. You know what I'm saying? But if we going to get rid of him, who do we replace Diddy with that's going to do something? If we get rid of Dr. Umar Johnson, who we going to replace him that's going to do the same thing and actually do it better? Like, these are the things we got to realize as YouTubers and as black people in the community. We got to stop sitting around waiting for a handout, waiting for somebody to do something for us. And then when they don't do what we want, then we get mad. You don't know what people go through trying to do politics. You don't know how. That's why I said before in the last show, go look at the distinguished gentleman from Eddie Murphy and go look up Head of State with Chris Rock. And to me, in my personal opinion, it gives you a glimpse of what goes on because you see politics now. You see the BS that's going on with politics. So if we want to get all these fake people out of the way, we got to make sure we're going to put in place people that's going to actually do something. It can't just be, I feel like, or I think, or I hope. It got to be doing. So until we do that, we got to stop trying to expose people all the time and start exposing ourselves to doing different things, because the difference of what happens, like, you know, like I said before, God willing, me and my partner going to do a show on a lot of cities that was destroyed, that was black owned. You know what I'm saying? I think we got to take a different step, figure out what it is when we build it also. You know what I'm saying? regardless of what it is, what kind of jurisdiction, things we need to change in our own, black-owned communities like we had before, and what we need to change to make sure things don't happen. And we're gonna break it down more, but when you look at all the cities that was burnt down, a lot of stuff started off he say, she say stuff, and it's crazy. The same thing with Emmett Till got arrested. So is what a few of those cities got burnt down. Allegedly, some black guy raped a white chick. Even though the police arrested certain people, they wanted to lynch him, and then a lot of those people come to find out didn't do anything. And people still was getting lynched. Cities was getting burned down to the ground. A lot of this same thing was happening, or cities race riots started because police was being injustice to black residents and killing black people, so they started riots. So it's got to be a change in what we do. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk more about that. That's why we got Financial Fridays. That's why I be talking about political things and talk about group economics and things of that nature, things that we can try to build on and do something different. But D.L. Hughley had a point. Instead of him meeting with Ice Cube or Trump's administration meeting with Ice Cube, they of substance. The people that help him write that contract is the people that he should have met with, not Ice Cube. Because no offense, but I don't think a next rap album just talking about people corrupt is going to do anything. Ice Cube want to do his thing, that's cool. But, try to find the right people and move out the way and let them do their thing. This your boy JT, Opposite from the North. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit them thumbs up. We're going to be back with another one.